The occupiers understand that the illegally built Crimean Bridge remains in the field of vision of the Ukrainian Defense Forces and therefore are creating an alternative route by land in the south of the country. The spokesman for the Ukrainian Navy, Captain 3rd Rank Dmitry Pletenchuk, spoke about this on the air of the telethon. They are investing quite seriously in the infrastructure on land in the occupied territories of the south of the country because they want to play it safe. Because the bridge, is in our field of vision and they understand perfectly well that it simply won't be able to stand there, Pletenchuk said. At the same time, he noted that the Russians are very carefully guarding the overpass that they illegally built across the Kerch Strait to the Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea, which was annexed in 2014. In fact, there have been no structural changes there for a long time in terms of security. They are really making every effort to preserve this facility. The so-called Crimean Bridge is of logistical and ideological interest to them, said a representative of the Ukrainian Navy. In this case, General Ben Hodges, former commander of the US Army in Europe, expressed that the United States of America should not have started the negotiations between Ukraine and Russia with the idea that Kiev should give up some of its territories. This is before any real negotiations. I don't understand this approach. It's wrong. Ukraine should not give in to pressure and give up part of the territory, especially such a strategically important one as Crimea. Crimea is not just a piece of Ukraine because of its geographic location, Hodges said. He believes that Ukraine can return Crimea. In his opinion, this will cause a turning point within the Russian Federation itself. The general noted that Putin will not agree to diplomatic agreements that would provide for the renunciation of Crimea. However, according to Hodges, Ukraine can do this by force. I trust the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. They are acting very wisely. Crimea must be isolated so that the Russians cannot either get there or retreat. This means that the large bridge must be destroyed sooner or later. Crimea must also become unusable. All this can be done through precision strikes, special operations and sabotage. When Crimea is isolated, then Ukraine will be able to take it back. In the end, it will be necessary to enter there with troops. But I cannot imagine a landing operation now. It is unrealistic in the conditions of a modern war with drones and long-range weapons, he explained.
The China-Cambodia Golden Dragon 2025 joint exercise staged a live force drill on Monday in both maritime and aerial zones near Cambodia's Sihanoukville port, Chinese state broadcaster CCTV reported. According to Associated Press, the operation, involving 11 naval vessels and 3 helicopters from both countries, simulated a scenario where terrorists hijacked a cargo ship, CCTV said. The joint forces carried out coordinated counter-terrorism and anti-hijacking missions, which included coordinated response, escort procedures, counter-terrorism and anti-piracy operations, as well as integrated maritime and air search and rescue efforts, according to the state media. Later in the day, the two forces held a closing ceremony for the drills. This is the first air-sea live force exercise in the Golden Dragon series of joint exercises, and the first time the Cambodia-China Joint Support and Training Center at Port Ream was utilized in the live force operation, according to state-owned Chinese news agency Xinhua. The joint military drill started May 14 and marks Cambodia's latest and largest joint drill with China. Cambodia is China's closest ally in Southeast Asia. Beijing has helped fund an expansion of the Ream naval base on Cambodia's southern coast, raising worries it could become a strategic outpost for the Chinese Navy in the Gulf of Thailand. Cambodia has repeatedly denied any agreement granting China special privileges or the establishment of a foreign military base.
收到解救被劫持船只指令后，中方长白山舰、攀枝花舰、广元舰和检方8艘舰艇迅速向目标海域机动，搜索被恐怖分子劫持的船只。发现可疑目标后， 直升机起飞查证，确认目标为被劫持船只。经喊话劝降无果，舰艇编队转向进入射击阵围。
主方做好对海射指挥。
中国海军攀枝花舰使用主炮对目标实施拦阻射击，直升机发射热铀弹进行警告，逼停被劫持船只。舰艇编队对恐怖分子实施风控警戒，突击艇快速前出，突击小队登上被劫持船只进行临检拿捕。缉拿过程中，恐怖分子拒不投降，负隅顽抗，导致人员落水。直升机前出进行救捞。舰艇接收到伤员后，随舰中检双方医护人员进行现场紧急救治。待伤员生命体征平稳后，直升机将其转运后方医院治疗。
互相交流学习，共同提高，期待组织更大规模的两国海空军联演。
空联合实兵演练是首次依托中检云壤港联合保障和训练中心组织实兵演练。实兵演练聚焦海上联合反恐反劫持行动，重点演练联合响应伴随。实兵演练结束后，在海军长白山舰举行结束仪式，中检双方部分参演官兵参加，中检双方代表分别致辞。
前方官兵在海上行动中有更多更深入的合作交流，双方之间配合得很默契，演练达到了预期目的，期待。
India's southern state of Kerala on Monday asked fishermen not to venture near the site of an accident where a container ship carrying hazardous cargo sank off its coast in the Arabian Sea. According to Associated Press, Kerala state also issued a high alert along its coastal areas. The Liberia-flagged MSC Elsa III was sailing between the Indian ports of Vizhinjam and Kochi when it sank about 38 nautical miles off Kerala early Sunday. All 24 crew members were rescued, India's defense ministry said. The vessel went down with 640 containers, including 13 with an unspecified hazardous cargo and 12 containing calcium carbide. It also had 84.44 metric tons of diesel and 367.1 metric tons of furnace oil in its tanks. The Kerala Chief Minister's office on Monday urged people to stay away from some of the containers that began washing ashore. It also advised fishermen not to venture too close to the sunken ship. Indian Coast Guard on Sunday said it had sent an aircraft with an oil spill detection system to survey the area. It also deployed a ship carrying pollution control equipment to the site of the accident.